Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Lush Gardener. In today's video, we are going to be talking about some common problems that you might face while growing succulents. Now guys, a lot of people tend to get very scared, tend to get very nervous when they tend to see that their succulent is either dying, maybe because of rot, maybe because of any other reason. You do not need to be worried because this is what the initial stage is. I have been through that. I have killed a lot of succulents at the initial stage when I did not have the proper kind of soil mix. I did not know how to water succulents. I also happened to kill a lot of my succulents. So there is nothing that you have to blame yourself or feel guilty that you have been killing your succulents. And I call this as a trial and error. But of course, every now and then if the error happens, then that can be problematic because one, succulents are expensive. Secondly, it's very difficult to procure succulents. But these are some common problems that I have seen and how you can try and avoid these problems. The first one that recently someone had asked me, what exactly is dry rot? Now guys, dry rot is common in places which is very dry and hot. Remember, succulents prefer dry but cooler environment. Now if your environment is dry, if it's hot or humid, then there could be a problem of dry rot. Dry rot will commonly occur with people who tend to underwater their succulent excessively and are from a very dry, humid or hot environment. In this condition, the rot looks like the succulent has been overwatered, but actually the succulent wasn't watered. Even then, the leaves will start to turn mushy. As you can see in this clip, the succulent looks like it has been overwatered. It is completely mushy. The entire succulent is turned darker in color, which is a sign of rot, and you can see with the slightest touch the entire succulent falls apart. If I'm going to go ahead and dig into the soil, you will be able to see that the soil is completely bone dry. Now there were a couple of reasons why this happened. One is that the succulent was underwatered. Apart from that, this succulent was exposed to direct sunlight without watering, due to which this happened. If you have an habit of underwatering your succulent, ensure that you're keeping your succulent in indirect bright light. That is the safest what you can do. If you are a person who tends to underwater your succulents, then please do not expose your succulents to direct sunlight, otherwise it will end up with dry rot. Now as I said, dry rot is more common with people who are from a very dry and hot or a humid environment, but it is also possible with people who are from a cooler and dry environment. That is in case if you are excessively underwatering your succulent. That's why it's very important to have a balanced watering, not too much, not too less. Anything in excess can be dangerous. The next one is stem rot. Again, there are several factors that are related with stem rot. It's not necessary that only because of root rot you will have stem rot. Stem rot can happen individually as well without the roots getting rotted. Now, one of the common reason is overwatering, of course, in that the roots get rotted first and then it transfers onto the stem. But it's not necessarily the case. At times, let's say that your stem has a cut or you have pulled out a dry leaf, or if you have pulled out a leaf for propagation and there is an open wound on the stem, you go ahead and add water. The moisture comes in contact with the stem, that will lead to a stem rot. Or if your soil mix is very compact, what happens is that the roots are kind of deprived of water, nutrients, or even for that matter oxygen, due to which the roots get suffocated, and right in between where the stem connects to the root, the stem starts to rot. That can be related with the cause of having a very compact soil. Apart from that, your environment underwatering can also lead to stem rot or stem drying, wherein again the same place, the stem which is connected to the roots, eventually that part will start to dry out. So there are a couple of factors that can lead to stem rot, not only overwatering. It can be related with your soil being very compact. There is a cut on the stem and you have gone ahead and watered it. It could be due to the environmental factors, or it could be due to underwatering. So all of these factors are related with stem rot. Now the next problem is very common. I would say 95% of succulent keepers have faced this issue, and that is root rot. Now root rot is majorly caused because of overwatering or not letting the soil dry completely. If there is a little bit of moisture that is retained in the soil, that can lead to the root rot or the risk of root rot. So ensure that you are watering only when the soil is completely bone dry. As I've said this earlier as well, you can wait for 2 to 3 days as well after the soil has been completely bone dry. Now both the stem rot and root rot can be easily tackled only if you happen to notice this at the early stage. For that, you have to be vigilant. You have to do a routine check. That's when you will get to know this at the early stage. Once the rot has spread onto the stem, it has reached to the crown area. After that, there is no going back. The succulent cannot be survived. So it's always better, whether it's a fungal attack, whether it's a mealybug infestation, or whether it's a stem rot or a root rot, if you notice it at the early stage and if you take care of it by probably cutting off the portion that is infected or infested, it is going to help you in keeping your succulent alive. So guys, that's all about it. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button, and if you're new to my channel, please do subscribe. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep propagating.